What is going on?
This is what happens when you don't bring X-Men into phase 1.
Oh shit! Oh my god! What the hell? This is scary! Oh my god! Ow. It's hailing! Look at that! It's fucking hailing! What is this? Oh my god! Ah.
It's like 75 degrees outside.
It's how cold it is up there! Oh my god! Ah! If this isn't a sign that Avengers Campus won't come to Florida, I don't know what is. How's it going, Disney fans? Cody here with Disney Adventures. Now, recently I got to visit Disney California Adventures Avengers Campus. And I have to say, after visiting my childhood superheroes in their own home, it was an experience that I just really treasured, and it got me thinking about why we don't have a Marvel themed area at Disney World out here in Florida. Well, there's a reason for that, and we're standing in it. This is Marvel's Superhero Island at Universal Orlando. Now, this Marvel themed area isn't the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it takes you into the Marvel comics. And the reason that you won't see an Avengers Campus at Disney World is because they own all the licensing rights to Marvel. Okay, so technically they don't own the rights to Marvel, just the theme park rights this side of the Mississippi. However, that is enough to stop Disney from fulfilling my wish of making a Marvel themed area at Disney World. But all of this doesn't mean that we'll never see Disney do a Marvel themed land. They're always constantly trying to find legal loopholes, and the companies just want to make money. The Marvel Cinematic Universe's success has trickled into the Marvel success in Universal. So we will potentially see a Marvel themed area. For example, Disney's already figured out a loophole, and that's how they're able to put Guardians of the Galaxy in Epcot. And it's because the Guardians of the Galaxy aren't technically part of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the X-Men and the Avengers, and that property wasn't being utilized by Universal. So that's allowed them to put one Marvel attraction inside one of their parks.
Thank you.
Now, this video isn't about me saying when they're going to do a Marvel themed area or if they're going to. Rather, I'd like to talk about the hypothetical areas where I think it could fit and what I would like to see. And, you know, what I expect of Disneyland's and California Adventure and their kind of Marvel incorporation into the parks. But for us to talk about the hypothetical here, we need to head to Hollywood Studios because I think that's the park for it. Okay, so we're at Hollywood Studios. I already kind of have a place in mind where I think Disney could do this. So we're gonna head down over there. So we're gonna go past Mickey's Runaway Railway, and it's in this back corner of the park by Toy Story Land. And we're gonna just point that out to you guys real quick, and I'll start giving you guys my idea for how they could do it. Okay, so we're actually going to go to Toy Story Land. We're like outside of it, but Star Wars Launch Bay over back behind me is another good area where they could put like a Marvel themed area. It's a space that I feel like is not being utilized properly. And with Galaxy's Edge being here, I think this Star Wars themed kind of soundstage area is not the best utilization of this space, especially when you compare it to the Marvel themed area in California Adventure. So I'm seeing it already happen at California Adventure. They have expanded the Marvel area further than just the Avengers Campus. You have that kind of like Rodeo Drive looking area at California Adventure, but I see it expanding further. I see it being a bigger Marvel themed area. And when you look at all these like back corners of this, what is this place called? I can't even remember it. I'd never visit here. I don't even know what they call this area of Hollywood Studios, but you think of all this space that is not being utilized properly and nobody's over here, you have to wonder like what can they do to retheme it? And this is what I think they should put a Marvel themed area. Now the next area I think that they could potentially put it is right next to Toy Story Land, and that's where their like soundstage and backlot was for their like backstage tour, to give that kind of like Hollywood tour. The Royal Disney Production Center, actually, you can see behind me, that is not being utilized at all, and I think Disney is kind of foaming at the teeth wanting to incorporate Marvel in some way, and I think this would be the area to do it. So I would love to see that here because I did enjoy Marvel's Avengers Campus in California. Now, hands down, Universal is going to have the far superior rides, in my honest opinion. But when it comes to a themed area, I think immersion into that world is what's most important. And I feel like you get that more with Avengers Campus than you do the Marvel Island. And it's just, I think that has to do with the MCU being a live action universe. It helps contribute to that immersion that you get in that universe because it's more true to life. It's a better experience to me because I'm getting more immersed into the Avengers Campus than I am at Universal's take on the Marvel comics. Both are great, but when it comes to a themed area, I much rather prefer the Avengers Campus style themed area. And that's just my thoughts on it. But if you guys enjoyed this video, my take on Marvel, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more videos like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. But until next video, I'll see you guys around. So I'm not entirely happy with how that ended, but since I want to try and film in the parks, I'm not going to go back and reshoot this. I'm going to just kind of upload it. If you guys have any thoughts on it, I'd love to have a discussion with you guys about it. I definitely need to plan more for this. But also the California trip, I didn't capture enough Avengers Campus footage to really show off the Avengers Campus. There are a few things that I think they're going to do to repurpose the Hollywood Boulevard kind of area into like a metropolitan area in the MCU that I forgot to touch on. And just a lot of stuff that I forgot to, and I'm sorry about that, but I want to move on to other videos, and maybe I'll touch back up on this as things progress or with any updates. I like both areas. I love Marvel. I just don't think I showcased enough of the live action feel of the Avengers Campus because I just didn't film enough that I love so much about it, and I love how it directly correlates with the Marvel shows and stuff that they have coming out and hopefully movies. Dogs are barking. That's my cue.